Good morning, everyone. Surfgal, playing some more Lufia 2 Ancient Cave. We are on the quest for our Iris treasures. We are at 5 treasures so far. If you're not familiar, the Ancient Cave is a 100-floor randomly generated dungeon. There are any treasures you find inside you can't take out with you, with the exception of blue treasure chests and a couple unique items called the Iris treasures. We are trying to find all of the Iris treasures over the course of several runs. At this point, we've gotten a bunch of blue chest items, which are awesome. Those are decent. Go Sizzle Sword there, Sea Ring, Spark Staff, Water Gaunt, Aqua Helm. Last run we got pretty much that entire water-themed set for Artie here, which is awesome. The important part with Artie is his agility. And his agility is already up to 69 right now, which is great. Maxim's the second highest, so we want him to kind of be leaning into that as well. And then anybody else, we're going to be focusing on strength and defense, which is those gold eyes. Now, you're normally supposed to come in with nothing. As I said, we found a bunch of blue chest items, so we're coming in with a bunch of gear that's going to basically make this go a lot smoother. We're probably not going to have too much problem because of the gear we've got until we get down to, in the 20s at least on floors, especially depending on how many fights we end up getting into, how many levels we get. There's a very good chance that we could just skip most of these fights, but with the gear we've got, they go fast enough, I'm not super worried. There's definitely a part of me that would kind of like to get a little deeper, because I have just been basically running up into the 20s in Providence range and then ditching, assuming that I've found anything good, which pretty much every run I've found either good blue chest items or Iris treasures or both. But I'd really like to actually get into the back half of the dungeon at some point. Just to be able to do something a little different on these. I am not necessarily expecting us to be able to do so, and I'm definitely not going for a jelly kill. Jelly is the boss on the bottom floor of the dungeon. We will be going after him eventually, but I want to get a Gady's Blade first, which is a blue chest item. That is important for that. One of the neat parts with Lufia 2 is the way the enemies move. As you can see with things like that frog there, all of the enemies move in kind of set patterns, or their move set that they have available is based on specific patterns. So The frogs follow the edge. Deadly sword right off the bat. We're not going to equip that quite yet, but deadly swords are... yeah. It's a cursed blade that does a chance for automatic instant kill. We don't want to equip it quite yet, because we're killing everything in one hit anyway. And once you equip it, you can't unequip it. So we want to see what else we get available first before we commit. But definitely a good item to find early. And this is, I believe, the first floor you can get them. The items that you can get, with the exception of blue chests and iris treasures, are limited to specific floors. Or with items, they add to the pool as you go. So you actually have the highest chance of finding certain items at lower floors because that's the first place that they become available. Other treasures, you know. Monsters, on the other hand, are only available for certain floors. Usually a 2 to 3 floor range for any given monster. A few of them are a little bit longer than that. So a lot of doing runs in this game is being aware of what you can find where. Awesome. Healing magic is good, which also is another piece of a lot of these runs. Basically, a lot of this run is resource management. It's running away from fights or engaging in fights to make sure that you maximize the HP, or the XP you can get for the HP and MP you're spending. And even if you're not casting spells to attack, you will eventually need to use MP to heal. So it's kind of balancing act between all of those, and yeah. As well as things like knowing the enemy movements and approaching them in a smart way, or making sure that you don't get back attacked because your positioning in theirs matters. It's like, why isn't the noise going? Oh, I need to push the button one more time. So yeah, the Iris run that we're doing is a lot less intense, a lot less risky than just a standard run where you're trying to go as deep as you can, as fast as you can. Because we're trying to be a little bit more, I guess, reliable with it. If you die, you don't get to take your treasure out with you. So we need to make sure that we survive. And unfortunately, that does mean taking less risks. Don't think... There we go. Now, these are going to be a little bit nasty, potentially, but with the gear we've got, I think we'll be okay. They were kind of in our way, so we do need to go through them. Mimic chests are among the scariest enemies on a regular run, especially the blue ones. They're just kind of more powerful than a lot of the other enemies at this level. Pretty sparse so far. I mean, that's fine, but... honestly, outside of that, the two things I've mentioned, the Deadly Sword and the Strong Spell, I haven't found a whole lot. It's good to have Gale, just so we've got an offensive spell. But yeah, this is feeling very sparse so far. Which does actually work out for what I was saying earlier about potentially trying to go a little deeper in the cave. Because, as I said, a lot of it is protecting what you've got. The reason you play cautiously is because you don't want to lose those blue chest items or those iris treasures. And if things are a bit sparse, that means that there's less need to play it safe. And obviously, if you haven't found anything yet, and you go deeper, there's a better chance you'll find something. Okay, cores. These enemies are very high experience if they stick around, but they have a very high chance to run. That should be enough to put us into the range we want to be in for levels, which is good. Yep. We want to be at least level 9 for this, or at this point, and we're at level 10. Part of what I was talking about with the level, or with avoiding enemies, part of the reason you do that in a normal run especially is because you can get most of the levels you need just by fighting cores. Scimitar. blue chest, but it's another catfish jewel. I mean, catfish jewel's not even terrible. I think we have like several of them though, and at this point we have better stuff. Is the big piece. When we actually get ready for our jelly run, having all those extra blue chest jewels and engagement rings and stuff will definitely go a long way. Just because that means that we can feed those to our capsule monster, which we'll talk more about later. Yeah, I figured. Fake can be good, but it's not super great or essential by any means. Fake is speed boost. So it can be good in situations where you're trying to get away from a fight, or where you're trying to just change the order that your characters are going in. It's actually not a bad spell in the core game, but it's not a great spell in the Ancient Cave, because you're usually either winning via overwhelming means or running away. And most of the time, if you're running away, the first action you're doing is running away. There's a few weird situations where you might want to, like, try healing first. But I guess even then, you'd probably still be following it up by running away. Like, if I used to heal on Artie and then fake on Maxim, I guess, or something? I don't even know. I'm trying to think of how fake could be useful, and the short answer is it's really not in this one for the most part. Where did you go, stairs? Oh, that's why I feel slightly better now that I remember, or now that I know that I didn't find them in the first place. Deadly Rod is another cursed weapon. Again, instant kill. That one's usable by Artie. Deadly Sword is usable by Maxim. Party Room. Wispies. We definitely don't want to fight Wispies unless we have to. They are very fast and have an AoE attack, which is two bad things, because that means if you try and run away, they still attack you. They also come in large groups, so you can end up with several of them all doing area of effect attacks against you at the same time. You know, I was doing pretty well for a while. Okay. So, got out with probably 2 fights. getting lots of Lexus items this time, which is... I mean, we're not taking Lexus regardless, so it's not like I'm gonna feel bad about it. Hey, remember that thing I said I didn't want to do? Now, the chances of them actually killing us are very low. The big thing is, it goes back to the resource management thing. You know, we've got... If we go in and all 4 of them use flash, that's like 40 hit points, and that's enough that we're going to need to heal. And if we need to heal, that's, you know, a potion on each character, or MP, or whatever we're spending that we don't have. So that mistake just cost me like half a potion, effectively. Confuse. Sorry if I'm a little quiet here. I'm really just... There's not a whole lot to say with this run yet, unfortunately. It's been a pretty... I called it barren earlier, and I still feel like that's the case. We haven't found a whole lot of useful things outside of Strong and the 2 Deadlies. Either for long-term, like Iris stuff, or blue chests. You know, we found the 1, but it's not a good blue chest. And we also haven't found anything great for the actual run itself. Like, if we were to try and go deep, the Deadlies are good, but there's, like, limits to that being good. The big thing with Deadlies is they don't work against Undead. So in situations like this, if we had given Artie that Deadly Rod, he wouldn't be able to get those first hits off against the Undead. Which is a bigger reason of why we don't equip them until we have to. Like, again, if we're getting 1-hit kills anyway, there's not really a point to it. Both because you can't unequip it, and because you can't use them against Undead. Getting close to floor 20 already. Okay, this section, the main thing we're going to want to keep an eye out for are enemies called bees. They'll be pretty obvious if we see them. I'm actually not sure what that even is. That's, female-only item. But we'll have to check it out when we get back to town. Maybe we could, that actually gives us a reason to take, potentially Tia or Selen with us at some point here. Selen has a little bit better options as far as what gear she can equip out of the blue chest stuff we've found. Especially as far as it overlaps with Artie. But Tia is generally the better character overall. Like, if we found a second Spark Staff, I would be all over using Tia Artie instead of probably Guy. Floor 21, we can now potentially start finding Providence, which is the item that lets us warp out. I'm still not feeling like we need to immediately. So I will probably, even if I find it, we'll probably keep going until we have a reason not to. Wingers are definitely on the list of things we don't want to deal with. This is not a great place for them. That's a lot of attacks getting in before we get to run away. Like, with Artie's speed as it is, we should be getting run away pretty easily. Seriously? Okay then. Okay, we've got a couple regains. I think given where his HP/MP is, I'm gonna go ahead and just use a miracle quick. And let's go ahead and use an X magic on Artie, just so we can actually have some MP. Unfortunately, we have to go back through those same two hallways. Get these swords out of the way. Got in first. Awesome. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, we went a little bit too far out on this one. We probably should have stopped after those first couple narrow hallways. Okay. There's our Providence. That was higher tier than I thought. That'll get him to the next tier. So yeah, you feed your capsule monster, who's kind of your 5th party member. Any extra gear you've got laying around. Pretty sure Longstaff is a good one. Yeah. Okay, so that went through most of our extra gear. That has 2 effects, which is 1, it cleans up our inventory, and 2, we now have the second form of our capsule monster, who has different attacks. And in this case, a much better attack called Perish Punch, which has a chance to instant kill. We're getting to the point where we're not going to be able to just kill all the enemies instantly. So I may want to look at getting some deadlies equipped. But I feel like not having them equipped kind of further incentivizes me to actually be careful. That was a bit reckless there, speaking of being careful. Those are the bees I mentioned earlier. That is another gear that can only be used by female party members, I'm pretty sure. Yep. It's really leading me into, hey, you should bring Tia and in for a run. bees move somewhat erratically. They can move up to 2 squares for each one that you move. Most enemies can only move 1 per one. So that's part of why they're a little dangerous, why I mentioned that. Plus, they have abilities that can cause status effects on all your party members. And if you get unlucky and all your party members get paralyzed, you just lose. Mist Rapier, that one's an interesting option that we've got. We're not going to be using it most likely, but if we ended up fighting the jelly, it is at least a plausible option. The teleporter got stuck in the doorway, which is really annoying. You could actually move between rooms. Like that. Thanks, Sully. You're the best. Lexus weapons might not be useful, but they are at least decent for capsule monster feeding. Those guys move opposite to you, always. So walking into that wall helps with that. Spark Staff. Those guys are weak to fire, so most of our characters have fire weapons equipped. That goes very quickly. That's an evil fish. That's another evil fish. We're getting out of here. Evil fish are another one that's pretty nasty. Big AoE, chance for lots of enemies in the party. Lions tend to be a pretty easy fight, so got in with my deadly. Figured that would be a good way to handle that. Holy Staff. Got in first. Darn. We're probably still gonna get the kill in... Oh, one turn even. Nice. 29. That's going to take us to... probably the most dangerous place. So that blue chest there is not what we... Or is not a blue chest. As is that one. Those are both blue mimics. Mimics, again, are terrifying, especially the blue ones. So, we're going to be very cautious for this section. We're not going to take any unnecessary risks regarding blue mimics in particular. So you can hopefully see here, Artie's high speed plus the Deadly Rod is very powerful. That's unfortunate. Only 2. We might be able to survive this. Awesome, we got very lucky. There can be up to 5 of them, and they have an attack that can hit your entire party at once. So getting 2 of them, only 1 gets to attack, and did not use and attacked Sully instead of one of my party members is kind of awesome. And very lucky. Very, very lucky. Carblade. We're actually getting to the point where we have some pretty solid gear for the jelly fight. Pretty early on, so unless we find an iris treasure or something else that we desperately want to keep, I will probably keep going here. And may actually keep going, depending on where we're at. Those blue chest items we found are good, but they're not, like, super amazing. They're not things that we're going to be looking for the final run. And there's our blue cores. If you get too close to those plants, they will just continue following you. They kind of stay stationary until you get close, and then they just pounce. Trolls are another one that don't like... Hey, Sully did something useful! Trolls are another one that don't like fire, so... And those bears are very... Bears are not super fast, and they can hit hard, and they have lots of hit points, but with the deadly weapons, they go pretty quick. Lucky Blade, I believe, is another cursed weapon. That's not what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to do. Miss. That's unfortunate. And this is a great fight to illustrate why those deadly weapons are so powerful. Because if Artie had hit there, that would have made that a one-turn fight, and instead it was 2 full turns. Literally twice as long from if one hit had landed. That's not what I wanted to do. Hey, we must be on the floors with Assassin. These are another very fast enemy. They have a chance at instant death attacks. They're not nearly as bad as their big brothers, the ninjas, but they're not necessarily fun. The main thing is that they just sprint across any open room like this towards you. So there's a good chance if you don't notice them coming that you'll just suddenly get sideswiped as you're walking across the room. Really? What floor are we up to here? 39. Okay. So, I think I'm going to get through the next section here. Let's see if we can get to a good solid point to take a break. And then we'll plan on continuing deeper until we find an iris treasure. We'll see how long I actually go. Basically, basically we'll go until we either find an iris treasure or, get to the bottom. We are running a little bit low on XP, I think, at this point. Just a little. We'll see where we end up. There's some more cores coming up here, which is why I am continuing. We're gonna aim for about the halfway point. These are always a tricky one. So, Bone Gorems are fun. First of all, one of the fun translation things. This game is full of things that are called Gorems, which are totally golems. The localization team on this was not the best, but that adds to its charm. Honestly, I always kind of love the fact that a lot of these monsters do have these slightly different names. Because it makes them feel a little unique. Like the Hidoras. Obviously, that's supposed to be Hydra, but Hidora is kind of its own thing almost. Here I was hoping Sully was gonna get the finishing blow. Okay. No cores here. There's supposed to be cores on these floors, so we just haven't found any yet, which is not great. No green cores. This could be... Oh, I saw one. So, the thing I was saying about Bone Gorems, they are not actually undead, which is why the Deadly works on them. They are constructs made of bone, which is always one of those weird, interesting things. I know, like, in D&D, like, what's the difference between a zombie and a flesh golem? They are both reanimated from dead bodies. See if we can get lucky here. Last time we just had him run away and we only got the one fight. One stayed. Awesome. That should be enough to push us into the range we want to be at. For the next section of the dungeon. Perfect. Okay, the next section I wanted to get past. I mentioned at the Assassins that they have big brothers that are ninjas, and ninjas are one of the enemies that are common in this section, or this set of floors. So, in the interest of not forgetting, hopefully that illustrated well why I was warning about these enemies, and also why I'm running into the corner of the doorways. You can see that they just charge directly at you from across the room. If you're in the doorway, they won't be able to attack you. So you can give yourself a little bit of space. Because they are nasty. The assassins are very fast and have an instant death attack, but they're not that bad otherwise. Prince Lizards are good. They have a chance for a decent drop. Did not find any. Okay. That's the same one, I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing the stairs. So we're probably gonna have to either avoid or deal with them. Okay. They are just staring me down. Okay, let's try this. So this gets into what I was talking about with the positioning being very important, because if we can get... There we go. Let's see what we've got here. That should greatly increase our chances of survival, having maxed them up to full health. we're in trouble. Knife thrower might do us in here. So I think we just have to risk it and pray. Maxim's not faster than them, so Artie's down. We did not get a knife thrower, and they didn't attack Maxim twice. So I think Dakar and Guy are now going to get to go and finish it off. Are you serious? The stairs weren't up here? Did I just... Well, if nothing else, that was an interesting example of a few different pieces. There's a whole door here we didn't get to. Oh, crap. And there's another set I didn't... Well, as long as we don't get back attacked, we should be okay. We got back attacked. Nope, nope, nope. We're good. So we haven't really used IP attacks yet. Couple different things that we're doing here. First of all, I set Maxim to heal because I know he'll go after them. Second thing I did was use IP attacks from both Kai and Decker. IP attacks are that third meter on the screen. And they are basically like the limit breaks in FF7, where you could you build the meter by getting hit, by taking damage. Unfortunately, I think we're still... Yep, in the danger zone. They were facing sideways. I had to jump in. You don't get opportunities like that every time. Okay. So yeah, we'll clear this floor. That'll get us out of the danger zone for ninjas. And then I'm going to take a quick break. And we'll either put them together as one video if I don't go very far, or continue on and do a separate video if they are, or if we last a little bit longer. Let's see. So... I'm very bad at ending these, aren't I? Sully got big. Okay. So, hopefully you're enjoying. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.